Costs of fulfillment can make or break an e-commerce company, and there have been some major changes recently, so let's talk about it. My name is Daniel Burstein. I'm the Director of Editorial Content at MarketingSherpa. We're here at the MarketingSherpa Media Center at IRCE. I'm joined now by Abe Gardner from Yahoo Finance. So Abe, I've been walking out on the big IRCE show floor, and it's like Las Vegas. There's messages everywhere.
It's awesome, yeah.
Right?
It's fabulous.
But one really stuck out to me, and maybe you can help me solve this riddle. It said, how can a feather weigh 3 pounds? So how can a feather weigh 3 pounds?
Right, such a great question. In this e-commerce event, it's the largest in the world. So I mean, we basically, all of us are trying to solve the problems that the top 500 internet retailers, second 500 internet retailers have. And in January of this year, basically FedEx and UPS, this has been long expected. In January of this year, FedEx and UPS said, we're no longer going to charge you when we ship something overnight, 2 days, 3. We're no longer going to price the shipping based totally on weight. So the feather, which weighs nothing, would cost nothing to ship. We're now, the bigger the feather is, the more we're going to charge you from what's called dim or dimensional pricing. So if you present me with this, humongous peacock feather, and we stick it in a box and everything else, its real weight might be 6 ounces. FedEx and UPS are now going to charge they may say it's a 17-pound flower for the purposes of shipping. So it just totally changed the economics for every single internet retailer, including Amazon. Just been, I've heard it referred to as a once-in-a-generational change, and many of us, our day jobs are helping resolve this for top 500 internet retailers that are having the issue.
Yeah, so for e-commerce companies, we always heard they have a cost advantage, right? They don't have to have all these locations on Main Street with this expensive, storefronts and stuff like this, but this fulfillment can really change things. So can you think of any specifics of how, I know you've talked to a lot of CEOs, of how companies are being impacted?
Yeah, I mean, as a M&A investment banker, and I saw this it was just happening in one of the 7 companies I sold this past year. I was consulting and advising them on taking over the fulfillment. And they're a telescope-related company, and the telescopes also had this really big kind of dim issue. And the solution has been something that's referred to, the acronym as a 3PL, or third-party logistics provider. So what we're seeing is the feathers, if we now have all these companies that are selling handbags as an example that are super light and take up a lot of space, by moving to a company that's outsourced, that specializes only in pick, pack, and shipping, and has, for instance, a company in Knoxville, Tennessee, Red Stag Fulfillment, that's the largest FedEx shipper in that region. Basically, they're a 3PL, meaning if our feather company over here or metal detector company, if we move the fulfillment over to this 3PL, and the 3PL enjoys very low shipping rates, the discount on the daily that FedEx and UPS compete, you can basically help improve the economics, and it's still a 17-pound 17-pound feather, but now the discount rate associated with the shipping is taking, essentially now it might be priced out as a 8-pound feather, as an example. So it's really material. So we're just seeing huge consolidation of internet retailers that have in-house fulfillment. So they started from scratch in the garage and were sending orders out of their garage and got bigger and bigger and bigger. They're now saying, look, from a financial perspective, we need to move this to a 3PL, free ourselves of the issue and focus on growth and competing and getting things like Amazon. I was going to say, Amazon announced this morning, front page of the Wall Street Journal, they're now going to deliver any product you want in 1 minute. They've upped the speed. We've gone from 2 days to 1 day to 1 hour to, I'm being facetious, but it's now they're up to, we're going to get it to you in a minute. So just,
I think we can solve this problem with drones.
Right?
Yeah, we can totally solve this problem with drones.
Right.
But so the 3PL, so does that, do they deliver the last mile as well? Or
yeah,
do
they essentially do. So they will, many of them, so for instance, Red Stag Fulfillment uses the ground. So FedEx and UPS ground, and there will be a residential surcharge, and essentially there's the high quality FedEx and UPS service, just at discounted rates essentially to get to the last mile. You're still having the FedEx person. If it's just got a new phone and it had to be signed, I had to stay home a day from work to be there to have somebody pick it up because I don't have a doorman in Manhattan, but
Sounds like something you can relate to personally.
Quality problem, yeah.
And so what does this look like to the customer?
To the customer, it's all invisible. That's also a great question. All this is happening behind the scenes, and people are scrambling that are internet retailers. They're scrambling to meet and match Amazon to get, there's outsourcing. They can outsource a lot of the business to Amazon, the fulfillment. The costs are just prohibitive. So everybody's searching for kind of the next, what is the alternative to Amazon? And you're having companies, 3PLs pop up, like Red Stag Fulfillment, that are essentially the solve if you don't want to, as an e-commerce company, it's hard to, with the top 500, I say, for $499, you can't go to your board and say, hey, our fulfillment and shipping strategy is to just give it all to Amazon. Well, why are you you're no longer going to be one of the other 499. It's just like we'll only have one. So there has to be some other kind of people filling in the gap.
Sure, excellent. Okay, so we learned one thing. I'm going to scrap my idea to sell life-size inflatable giraffes. I don't think that's going to work.
That's got to go. That's out.
But definitely, so look at some alternatives to your current shipping options, especially if you're selling some very lightweight but large items. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Abe.
Delightful. Thanks.
Thank you for watching, and you can see much more tips and tactics, case studies, and industry data at MarketingSherpa.com.